Cerca a este lugar y otras también siguen recorriendo la ciudad en caravana, recorriendo algunas de las principales calles de nuestra capital.
Eddie Ramírez, director gerente hasta el día de hoy de Palmavén. ¡Afuera!
We want him out of the country.
He's a dictator. He's a terrorist.
Y los venezolanos no estamos dispuestos a seguirle permitiendo.
For me, our journey to Canada seemed like an adventure. I was young and never really understood what my parents and family had to go through. I'm older now, and I understand things I never really could as a child. I know there's a large Venezolano community here, and I'm ready to hear their stories.
We thought that Hugo Chavez was never going to touch these people that was providing him with the money he needed to control the country.
Petróleos de Venezuela was probably at that time the third oil industry in the whole world, compared ranking after Exxon and Shell, which is really a big thing to say.
At that time, Venezuela was producing more than 3.5 million of barrels of oil. It was a really, really good oil company.
So we were doing really great projects right over there, like, good quality engineering and designs and all that. But all that got destroyed by Chavez. There was a big general strike. They fired 22,000 of us, and they put us in a blacklist, so I could not work any longer in the oil industry.
We start to see on television how Chavez fired people, reading a list on the TV.
Only 7 people were fired on live television. But it was a big show. He did it just to pass a message saying, you guys don't dare to really be in disagreement with me because you're gonna be killed professionally, And he did it.
It's like the circus in Rome, with this and that. But he was doing that to the oil industry, and they could never recover.
The people who elected him, who elected Chavez, was really, really happy because of the oil workers were fired, because they consider us as the rich people, the people to blame why they have lived in poverty for all their life, and they saw us as the enemy.
We were living a good, comfortable life back home. We got a great house. It was good. We have investments.
We were living close by to our family. We were really close by to friends. And we basically had what we needed. Our kids, were moving forward into their stories.
But things were getting worse. And that was when they have the big exodus, the big people walking out of Venezuela, going to South America and other places.
I didn't have that in my mind, emigrate from Venezuela, get out of here. I just wanted to stay and keep living. So Venezuela was my place, was my town, the town. I like the warm weather, by the way,
The crime was like a big problem there. So at that moment happened that 3 kids, 3 little siblings was kidnapped. And then they was, for several months, and finally they found them, died, the bodies. that was a commotion, you know, like a very, oh my God, what happened at that moment? Everybody was so sad, so upset. And that moment, my little kid, that at that moment was 5 years old, told me, Mommy, please take off out of here because I don't want that this that happened to them happen to us. So please take off here, away.
My brother and I were instilled with the idea of family. I knew what it meant, but I didn't really appreciate it until I started this journey. Family is about compassion, understanding, and above all, community.
Our family, they didn't want that we move outside.
Where are you going to leave Venezuela? Where are you going to leave your family? That's very tough. That's very difficult.
They say, no, but everything is going to change because everybody always have the belief that everything is going to change.
However, talking to my close family, mom, dad, my siblings, they all agree. And they said, well, yeah, maybe you need to really go out and get something different.
Canada was the best option for me to come. My background was more useful here than in other places.
Company in Canada is posting, and a job posting in Venezuela in the newspaper. But I apply. I apply. Said if that happened, well, I'll consider seriously. To be honest, And bingo.
When I was approached by Suncor and the first interview, they talk about an opportunity to work in the oil industry. And they mentioned Fort McMurray. After the first interview, I went to my study and I have a big national geography atlas. And I was just, trying to find the Fort McMurray around Calgary. And I couldn't find it. And I opened the big atlas and I was looking at that. And then my wife came up, took my fingers up and did this. Wow. The big shock was the weather. I came in November of 2004, and right away Fort McMurray went to -40, the 7th day that I was there. And it was cold.
We came 27 plus degrees Celsius to -16 degrees Celsius one day to another.
Fort McMurray, small town, everybody's from somewhere else, and there was almost no local there. And when I got my family there, my daughter was 8 years old. We came from Valencia, a city about Calgary, 1.3 million. And she was accustomed to go to the shopping center, like the Chinook. And I took her to the Peter Pan, the shopping center that we have in Fort McMurray. And she looked around and she said, that's it?
Fortunately, we found in Fort McMurray a big group of Venezuelan people who have migrated like us before, and they made us the transition more easy.
Oh my God, we got a lot of really good cuisine, a lot of Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese influence. We have great food from the Middle East. We got a lot of Lebanese there.
Obviously, food is something really that makes a big difference. Even though, here I would say you really have everything, that you basically what you would like to have,
I lost my mother, I lost my brother, I lost some relative that passed away, and I couldn't be there with them because I live here. And this is part of being an immigrant. You can be there. But if the immigrant also have good things, because moving here, this country, open its doors to me and my family and my sons for a better future.
Yeah, this is home for us, so we got all our family here. Even though we still have family there, but the majority of the family is out of the country.
I didn't really think that much about being Venezolano. Now that I know their lives, their struggles, what they went through, it makes me really proud. My parents' decisions to uproot their whole lives. It really says a lot about them. They did it just for us to get a better future. You know, hopefully we can make them proud. That's all we can really hope for.
You need to reflect what has happened and do what you have to do.
You have to understand and read the time that you're living, because things change.
It doesn't matter that you think that is a little thing, because this little thing have an effect around you. So you have to do your best, be your best every day.
And keep knocking doors. Keep knocking doors, because Canada has a lot of opportunities for people.
And if you fall down and you face difficult time, be sure that you are going to stand up again and keep going. And overall, know where you want to reach as a country, as yourself, as your family.